is fantastic to have you all back again on our channel, Relationship Builders Forum. My name is Amara.
And my name is Gospel.
Yes, and today we'll be continuing on our Test of Love series. Previously, in the first, I think it was the first series, was it?
Yeah.
We did promise that we're going to be touching on the sex test, okay? So that is what we're going to be looking at today, that's the test of sex.
Today we'll be looking at how sex could influence relationships among singles. How will a single know that his or her relationship is based on sexual attraction or sexual bond and not love? Or how will the person be sure that this is love going on? So sex test will help you to decipher if it is genuine love or if it is sexual attraction or sexual bond.
Okay, now let's look at, starting a relationship based on sexual attraction. A lot of people go into a relationship based on, very strong feelings, and then there's a lot of physical thing going on, like swooshing, petting, and romancing, and all of those kind of things going on, and even possibly sex.
Yes.
And sometimes when the physical side of the relationship becomes the focus of the relationship, then that takes away the focus from investing, valuable time in trying to get to know each other
and having deep and valuable conversations.
Exactly.
The problem is that sometimes people think that they rush whatever excitement they have for each other. This feeling that I have for the person I'm in a relationship with is actually love.
Yes.
Without knowing that what the passion and everything is based on sexual attraction. And the thing about sexual attraction is that it is influenced by reproductive hormones. For the guy, he thinks it's love. He doesn't know that what is working a trick on him is his testosterone. Why do the women are influenced by the functions of estrogen and progesterone? And the thing is that when you spend so much time with someone you admire, there is that tendency that you will start having that physical attraction for that person.
Yes.
And you think it's possible love is flowing between the two of you.
Yes.
Not knowing that it is actually sexual
attraction. So
that's why you need to actually decipher or distinguish what you're feeling. Is it sexual attraction or is it genuine love?
Love. Wow. Okay. Now, I just want to say, because sometimes there could be this complication between, genuine love and sexual attraction.
Are you talking about the issue of erotic feeling that is linked with
so
genuine love?
So how, because it's kind of it could be challenging for someone to, or people in a relationship to be able to distinguish or clearly, decipher what's the difference between, genuine love and, having that sort of sexual attraction. Because this is really important, and I think that is why this test, why we are looking at this.
Very important. Yes. Because even in genuine love, there is that chemistry. Because you feel something for someone.
For someone,
I wouldn't say I would have married you if I didn't feel that connection.
Of course.
There is the romantic side of love.
Yeah.
In Greek they call it
Eros.
Yeah. But then you need to know the difference. If you remember, there was this test of time which we did, which is an important angle to this test. We said you don't take this test in isolation. You have to take a broader approach,
all the tests,
holistic approach to the whole thing. Look at all the tests. So one of the things you have to do to know if it is genuine love or sexual attraction is to give it time. In case you've not seen that video, you can as well look at the video on test of time to understand more on that. We can't go into that at this moment. So that's one of the things you have to do. And then you have to look at how committed are you to the responsibilities that are involved in the relationship.
Because you know what? You know, this whole like love, I'm in love. You know, there comes a point where both individuals will need to begin to take responsibilities of what happens. And you know, the thing about this test that we're looking at is that if the parties involved get too vested into sex, you know, and you know, preoccupying themselves with that, and you know, the woman gets pregnant, for example, you know, that is another burden on the relationship.
Exactly. Now you know that some guys, they are very good at confessing love.
Yes.
And they want sex. They want everything that goes with the package of love, which should be experienced in marriage.
Yes.
They want it all before marriage.
Yes.
Fine. Now you're having sex with this lady, and eventually she's pregnant.
Oh.
She wants to have the baby because probably she doesn't believe in abortion.
Yes.
Now you don't want to take responsibility for that outcome of your relationship, your love, so to speak.
Yes.
That's one of the ways to know if this is real love or not. So if you're running away from the responsibility that is coming from the responsibility involved in the relationship, then it's not genuine love.
That's true. That's true.
You know, and a man could say, okay, I love you, I want to commit to you. The guy is not even willing to make lasting commitment in terms of marriage.
Yes, yes. So it's not just enough to say, oh, I love you, I'm very much attracted to you, and then, you know, I want to have sex with you. You know, love is beyond
sex.
Sex is important in a relationship.
Mind you, when you say relationship here, we are looking at marriage.
Yes.
So that young people out there will not say, we are saying you should have sex before marriage. Our belief is that sex should be basically for those who are married. Yes. Yeah. So the point we are trying to make is that you don't engage in sex before marriage. You need to isolate sex from the relationship and see how it plays out.
Yes.
Like we were saying something about people extending their relationship to the point of getting married and all that. You know. If a guy says to you that he loves you so much, in fact that he can die for you, one of the steps he needs to take is to introduce you to his family, and make a lasting commitment.
That's the proper channel.
Yes.
However, it's not usually the case in some relationship, because some men would say, oh no, I want to be sure that you've got sexual prowess, you know, I want to be sure that my wife, whoever I'm going to get married to, is very good in bed and all those kind of things. So they will want to have a kind of trial run with you before they want to commit. But I think that when that comes into play, then other things begin to play in the relationship.
The question is, if you trial the woman in sex in quotes and you discover that she's not as
active or
let's not use
proficient,
the word she's not as engaging, proficient, that's the word, as you expect her to be. What do? You dump her. That's a number one sign that your interest in the relationship is for what you will get, not for what you are actually going to give in the relationship. You know the thing, when sex comes into play, there are so many factors you have to consider. Yes. For a woman who is not married, she's thinking about, am I going to be pregnant? She's thinking about the frequency of it. Are we going to do it all the time? That's true. The pressure of how do I perform to please this guy is also there. So when you put all those things into consideration, she might not give you the best sex. For a Christian, the guilt is there. I'm doing something I'm not supposed to do. So when that person brings guilt, bring the issue of fear, issue of will I be pregnant, she's not doing it with her whole heart. So the performance may not be wonderful. And you judge her based on that. She's got her reservation. You know. So it means you don't really love. So when a man pressures a woman, not just a man, some women can as well pressure men into sex. When that happens, the person has already failed. Absolutely. Now, if a guy and a lady
are in a relationship and the focus is so much on the physical side of it, the focus is so much on, having to have sex with each other, then I think that is a big problem in the relationship, because there's more to a relationship than just the physical side of it.
I think,
love in itself is not just about sex, although sex is important, is part of a whole marital relationship. But in a relationship where you're trying to discover each other, I think that a lot of time should be spent in other aspects, developing other aspects of the relationship, because there's a whole time within the relationship later on to have as much sex as you can.
Yeah.
Because remember that they're going to go into marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're not just going to be spending their whole lives, having sex. Of course, sex will be a part of it, of course. But that's not just the only thing that comes with marriage.
Yeah, the question to even ask is, how much time do people spend having sex in marriage? Sometimes singles think is more about what you do. It's not like food you eat in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night.
Although some people would disagree with that.
Yeah, but the truth is that based on research, average couple spends about 2 hours a week having sex.
Yeah.
So when you remove 2 hours from 168 hours that you have in a week, what else would they be doing with the rest of the time?
They would need to be preoccupied with
exactly. There is more to marriage, there is more to relationship.
That's true.
Than sex.
Yeah.
No matter how you want to look at it, it's not the most important aspect of any relationship. In fact, for me, it is secondary. That does not mean
some
sex
people
is
would
not
disagree with you on that, because for some people, sex is very important for them.
Yeah, okay. Whichever way you look at it, what I'm saying is that there is more to marriage than sex.
Yeah. So, what we're trying to say here is, don't allow any man to pressure you into believing that, in fact, he's going to die if he doesn't have sex with you. And because of it, traps you into a relationship with him.
Yeah, so men are good at it. They meet different women, promise them marriage, promise them love.
Yes.
At the end of the day, their interest is sex.
To sleep with them.
Yes.
And that's the end of the relationship. It doesn't go beyond that.
So it is important that you allow your relationship to pass through the test of sex.
Yeah.
Such that when you remove sex from the relationship, let's say even if you've been involved in it, because so many young people are involved in it.
Yeah.
Now you want to know, am I in love? Or is it this sex that is keeping us together? What do you do?
Yeah.
Let your relationship pass through the sex test. So what you have to do now is isolate sex from the relationship.
Yes. So don't feel, for some people listening to this, they say, oh, well, I have been involved severally in different, sexual intercourse in different relationships. Don't feel discouraged about the fact that you have been there. You can actually start now by re-evaluating your relationship to say, is sex the primary focus of the relationship, or is this the lifeblood? Because for some people, the sex is the lifeblood of their relationship.
Yeah, but
because you want to know.
Like we are saying,
yes.
You want to know, if you genuinely want to know if this is love,
yes,
or is it sex
that is actually keeping the love. Yes.
What you need to do is be honest with yourself. Have that boundary, set that boundary with the person you're involved with, to say, from now henceforth, no more sex.
Yes.
Let's see if this relationship will survive.
Exactly. Let's focus on other areas and let's see, is this relationship actually hanging because we have actually
physical.
Yes.
So when you do that, give it some time.
Yes.
You will be able to know. Some people would find out that they've not really had any meaningful conversation. Because the passion and the
everything has been
excitement
channeled
of sex has become the focus of the relationship.
Yes.
And that, one thing about sex is that when it comes into a relationship before marriage, and you eventually get married because of this bond of sex, you might have problems with trusting the person you're involved.
Yes.
Especially if you're a Christian who believes that sex should not be part of the relationship before marriage. The importance of this test is that it helps you to be able to clarify your feelings for each other. So when you're sure that this is genuine love,
yes,
it is not sexual attraction, then you can move your relationship to the next level.
Yeah.
And the good thing is that if you can set boundaries and keep to those boundaries before marriage.
Yeah, boundaries are really crucial.
Yes,
it's really important to set boundaries in your relationship.
Sexual boundaries.
Yes.
If you can keep to them, they will help you when you're married. You trust each other.
Yes.
You know that if this woman or if this man can stay with me and keep himself without sex, then this individual has the capacity to as well, avoid sexual illicit sex in marriage.
That's
so
true.
it helps you to set boundaries and you're able to stick to those boundaries. You trust each other.
Yes.
So maybe you're out there and you're thinking, I've already ruined my relationship, I've already been involved in sex. I think you have a second chance to engage in sex text to be sure that your relationship is genuine.
Yeah.
And when that happens, you're also able to move your relationship to the next level. I also want to point out that some people, not because they don't love, they're falling into sexual relationship before marriage. It doesn't mean they don't love.
Yeah.
It's because maybe they don't have the capacity to control their sexual
manage it.
desire.
The sexual urge.
So in that case, they need to work on that.
Yes.
And see how they can move the relationship to the next level.
And see if their relationship is sustainable without the whole sexual thing going on.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think there's quite a lot to touch on this, but I think we just pointed out a few things for our listeners here. We're not even looking at the sex as it has to do with marriage. We're just looking at it in terms of how people can recognize if this is love
or sex.
Yes, exactly.
Attraction. Keeping them together.
Yes. But what we want to say here is, I know that you have a lot of questions in your mind right now. This whole thing that we started talking about today is something that we cannot fully exhaust. But what we did was to provide you with a few pointers, and hopefully we've been able to touch on some of the core aspects or core issues. But what we want you to do is, please, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, please feel welcome to please drop your comments below, and we would respond to them as much as we can. And we just want to thank you for joining us today on this segment. And we know you have lots of things to do with your time, but you chose to watch us. Thank you so much for being with us today. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and please turn on your notification bell. See you. Until then, we'll see you next time. Bye.